Hey, so I just got back from seeing Old. Don't worry, I won't spoil anything in this review, as I hope that you will all go into this movie seeing it blind. I know that that's extremely unreasonable, because odds are you have to at least know the concept if you're going in to see the movie, or see the trailer, or see the poster, or whatever. But I do highly recommend that you go in literally knowing nothing about the movie, because I feel like it kind of ruins the appeal of the film when the biggest twist of the movie they make it out to be is the actual concept of the film. So, yeah, don't go in expecting like a masterpiece or anything. It's it might be one of the weaker M Night Shyamalan movies. It's definitely got like slower pacing. There's a lot of just talking on a beach, and that's how they kind of just segue from all the things that you see in the trailer. The trailers just spoil everything. That's why I say this. Basically, you know everything that happens in the movie if you've seen the trailers. Whoever told me that no, the trailers seem spoilerific, but they only spoiled the first 40 minutes, they're a liar. The trailer literally spoils the ending of the movie. It I'm so mad. People told me so many things that got my expectations the wrong way. I heard so many things that I wish I hadn't heard, because it got my expectations the wrong way, where I'm like, yes, okay, I think I'm gonna love this one, cool, and I need to be in like the right mindset while I'm watching a movie. uh like I have to either be like, okay, this is gonna be a difficult one to sit down through because like people didn't like it, which this one was like mixedly received, so I should have had that mindset while I was watching this. But from the reasons why people said they didn't like it, or the reasons why those other people said they did like it, made it seem like, okay, I was gonna like it, but everyone lied. Like literally all the people that said they liked it and the people that said they didn't like it, their reasons as to why were just straight up foul lies. And every single thing I was thinking from the first trailer was exactly the truth. I was the only one that was honest. I watched the first trailer and I was like, uh-oh, this seems like it gives too much away. Not the 30-second one, the 2.5 minute one. But I watched the 30-second one, the Super Bowl one first, obviously. But I mean the 2.5 minute one. It spoils way too much. It goes into the ending too much. It just spoils too much. Uh, Problems with the movie. I'm trying to figure out how to do the spoiler free. Shyamalan-isms. They're everywhere. It turns this movie that's supposed to be like a thriller or a horror movie into like an actual comedy. There's this one character who is like stereotypical 90s black guy who just goes, dang. And that's his entire character. That's like the only word he says in the whole movie. He gets like one other time where he gets to say one sentence, but the rest of the movie he just says that on repeat. And it's hilarious. It's kind of amazing. Everyone is so stock and generic in the movie that whenever they do or say anything, it's amazing. The movie has like this very like early 2000s NPC isms going on. When I was watching this in the theater with my brother and his friend, my brother pointed out that everyone was talking like Elder Scrolls Oblivion NPCs, which absolutely, it was exactly what I was thinking. The which I mean, you kind of know to expect that the movie's gonna have flaws because Shyamalan's writing and directing, and the acting is gonna be weird, and the writing's gonna be weird, and that combination of the two is gonna be very. And it's trying to be quirky. I get that, and I'm not sure if it's trying to be funny, but it's hysterical. Because these people are not talking like people at all. These children aren't talking like children. These adults aren't talking like adults. None of that. But it seems like more so than usual, like more so than other Shyamalan movies. It's like he's straying further and further from humanity with each movie. Like he's slowly ascending from the human race to an alien race as he makes more and more movies. Because at the beginning of his career, remember when he had dialogue from people and they actually talked like people? Like The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, remember that? but then once he got around signs, then it was like, uh-oh, now we see the problem. Uh, yeah, I think he's just always trying to write like these Haley Joel Osment kid characters, but they come off so weird. They're all the characters are so deadpan. It's weird. Anyways, a lot of the performances were really stiff. There weren't really any emotions to them, except for Alex Wolff, obviously, but he comes in way too late into the movie. He's only in it for like a third, sadly. But he brings his normal hereditary crying face to the movie, which is more than welcome. The only other character that was like notable that I liked was the doctor guy. What's his name? The actor's name. I'm trying to remember. I had it a second ago. His character is not well written. Uh but the performance turned in started out like not great, but like towards the end it was like well turned in performance, you know. It's still uneven, but like it stands out. Gosh, what's that actor's name? The guy from Dark City. Um, I had it a second ago. I swear. Whatever. I'll just skip it. Uh, the rest of the cast though really need to work on their performances. Uh, it takes them a long time to get to the beach, and like I said, there isn't a lot of tense things going on. Basically just the things in the trailer, and then it's a lot of talking and them figuring out things you had already figured out like hours before they did. It feels uh like they're figuring out the title of the movie over halfway through the movie, and it's absurd. It's like, oh my gosh, guys, do you not know how like living in the real world works? How difficult is this for you? Why? Uh but yeah, that being said, the movie is still entertaining. I mean, the concept still feels original, even though it's like based on a book, which I mean, uh but yeah, the I do definitely think that this could have been something really, really special. And I still did like it. It's just that there was so much potential with this one. There's so many good things you could do with it. And the trailers kind of lied too. They said there was a lot of mysteries and like secrets of the island that needed to be unpacked and stuff to solve and stuff like that. There wasn't any of that in the movie. Uh I definitely wanted the movie to be more like Don't Breathe, where it's like this claustrophobic like 80-minute time is against us go 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 movie where things are constantly happening that are tense and making sure you know that the clock is ticking and like anxiety inducing, where but like whenever it is trying to do tension, sometimes it's forced. Like for example, sometimes one a person on the island will just attack someone else on the island because there hasn't been a tense moment for a while, and they never give any reason to why this happens, or at least a reason that makes sense, because the reason that's given literally makes no sense if they do ever give a reason. I'm trying to remember. It's frustrating. uh but like I said, it does still entertain. It is still worth a watch, just like maybe not full price, you know. um I still had fun with it though. Like it does have like that sort of like hidden gem appeal of like some 90s movie that would like go unnoticed, but it also is like deeply deeply flawed. It has like the I want to give it a 7.5, but the flaws make it deserve like a 6, so I think I'm going to give it a 7. Uh yeah, it's just it's very uneven. There's a lot of good things and there's a lot of bad things about it. I'm very mixed on the movie for sure. Uh yeah, the twist ending that Shyamalan is cooking up. it isn't anything special either. The movie is very predictable, not very surprising, and the ending, when it does get to it, like what happens to the people on the island, it okay, I feel like I would have to go into spoilers. There's a thing on the beach that I swear was not on the beach for the first hour and a half. So it feels abrupt when they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize this thing was on the beach the whole time." And you're like, "Because it wasn't." And because they finally notice it, then it finally appears. It's like, we've had so many sweeping shots of this beach, and never once has that thing shown up. Never once has someone mentioned, "Oh, do you see that thing?" whenever they arrived at the beach. Or have they once, like, when they're swimming, did they ever clunk into it? It's like I'm trying not to spoil anything, but like, come on, people. It doesn't make any sense. uh there's just lapses in logic. Uh Characters also definitely make questionable decisions. It does definitely have a lot of interesting ideas, but not a lot of interesting twists or a lot of surprises going into the movie. So that's why I suggested doing it like blindly. But yeah, the movie was mostly just like kind of a disappointment for me because I was very hyped about it, and people told me like too many lies. uh, but yeah, so I guess that's my thoughts on the movie. I'm trying to remember if there's anything I'm forgetting that I thought about it. I'm trying to go through the whole movie in my head now. The cinematography had very weird things where it would cut away to like edges of people's faces frequently. Once it was trying to hide the identities of people, where they it didn't want to show what they looked like now. And then another time they were trying to hide the gore because I don't know if they knew how to make the body do the gore that they wanted to make the audience infer was happening on screen without spoiling anything. So instead, they cut away to showing like the edges of three people's faces as they're working on a body doing the gore, and it stays there for the longest time, and it's not like a great shot or anything. And you just hear them reacting to a thing you can't see, and it goes on for a while, and it's like, okay. Other than that, like, the movie has some nice visuals. The story was decent. It needed a bit of work. It still is like, why are these few characters so hostile? It doesn't make any sense. They never gave like any reason other than you could think of, oh, to add tension. There are a couple of smart moments in the movie that I don't want to give away. Uh, there's a couple of disturbing images that I was impressed that this movie got away with for it being PG-13. One of which is very much like the Suspiria remake, which was fitting because we got a trailer for Last Night in Soho, which reminds me of the original Suspiria. But yeah, that's what I thought of the movie. I think I've covered everything now. Rufus Sewell, he was the name of the guy, the actor. I know my brother and our mutual friend didn't like the movie as much as me. They gave the movie a 6, which I totally get. Also, how did their phone not have? Why did they not try using their phones like at all in the movie? They never showed it having no service or anything. So what was up with that? Because the lady was like, "Let me do a little TikTok selfie." Click. On the beach, and none of the characters ever tried to like call for help or anything. I thought that was kind of weird. I get that it's kind of almost a cliche to try doing, but still. Anyways, yeah, those are my thoughts. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think of the movie, because I hear that this one's so mixed that people are,